Hello friends and welcome to yet another video on TutorialsPoint with me Richa. Today in this particular module we will talk about self-esteem. Well friends, I feel this is one of the most important topics to discuss. The reason being that today's youngsters are having so much of less confidence in themselves. They at times do not feel in sync with themselves, because of which it is resulting in large number of suicide rates happening. And this is the very reason I want to talk about this particular topic on self-esteem. Let's take a look at what is there in agenda for us today. We will talk about the definition of self-esteem and what it is all about. We will talk about what happens when there is a lack of self-esteem, symptoms of low self-esteem and increasing your self-esteem, as well as certain benefits of having a great self-esteem. So friends, what exactly do we mean by the term self-esteem? Well, again, self-esteem and self-confidence are two different things. While self-confidence was more on your ability to confidently carry out a particular task, self-esteem is about your emotional quotient, which means how in tune with yourself are you. Hence, self-esteem reflects an individual's overall subjective emotional evaluation of his or her own worth. Whether you feel you are up to the mark for something or no, whether you have faith in yourself or no, is what self-esteem is. Now friends, self-esteem was really a term coined which happened because a lot of times people don't believe in themselves, and the history of that can go to your past. Means as a child if you were abused, or if as a child you were told constantly that you're not good at something, that particular comment by your parents or teachers remain in the mind, which again influences you in your elderly years or when you go into adulthood, when you still compare yourself with others because you were compared to as a child by your parent or teacher, is what leads to a low self-esteem. So what exactly is a self-esteem? How much you appreciate and like yourself. Self-esteem is often seen as a personality trait, which means that it tends to be stable and enduring. A simple reason being that if you don't believe in yourself, that means you don't see yourself as somebody who's worth, and you feel that you do not have any kind of importance to yourself or you're worthy of anything, which leads to a low self-esteem. Well, lack of self-esteem happens when you constantly tell yourself certain negative things and negative points of view, and your daily dictionary or your daily vocabulary sounds something like this. For example, I can't do it, or nobody loves me, I am not worthy, I'm not good enough, must be perfect, and I must not make a mistake. When you constantly say these things to yourself, your mind starts believing in these things, because of which you suffer from a lack of self-esteem. Rather, I would say that urge you, please convert these negative statements into positive and you will see the world of a difference which comes your way. Well, lack of self-esteem happens when you have negative expectancies. You expect too much out of yourself because as a child, too much was expected out of you, and hence these negative expectancies or trying to be a perfectionist can lead to a lack of self-esteem. Low effort and high anxiety. When you're constantly anxious about things, it can also lead to low self-esteem. When you fail too much or you engage in a lot of self-blame, you blame yourself constantly for things which is not right, and because of which it all leads to a lack of self-esteem. Well, there are certain symptoms of low self-esteem, and you should see this for yourself as well as with other people around you, whether they're suffering from low self-esteem, because they will have a social withdrawal. Such kind of people like to keep to themselves. They're not likely to engage or go out of their way to meet people. They're not extrovert. They will lock themselves in their own room. They will stay by themselves. They will not mix around too much. They will not have that many friends, for example. They will also have, or rather suffer from, eating disorders. So people who have lack of self-esteem or low self-esteem either will eat too much or they will not eat at all. So hence the disorder of eating happens. Inability to accept compliments. If you compliment a person who is suffering from a low self-esteem, they will not receive the compliment in a nice manner. They will also engage in a lot of self-neglect, reluctance to take on challenges. They will be in their comfort zone and they will not get out of the comfort zone and go and take challenges. So hence these are certain symptoms of people who suffer from a low self-esteem. Well, how do you increase the self-esteem for such kind of people? What do you do to increase and improve your self-confidence and self-esteem? By being mindful, try to be in sync with yourself, be present to the present moment, be in it fully, completely, 100%. So be mindful. Second is you change the story. If you want things to change for yourself, you need to change the pattern of thinking and you need to change your story. Only then will you get a different result. Third is don't compare and despair. Everyone is unique, everyone is special, and hence everyone has their own talents and abilities to do things. Do not compare yourself with others because that will only make you feel more and more bad about yourself. Fourth, focus on your inner rock star. Imagine yourself to be a rock star and imagine that you have the world at your feet. Hence, it becomes important that you believe in yourself, you believe in your inner self, and that's the essence of increasing your self-esteem. Exercise, I think this is very, very essential. If you really want to improve your self-esteem, you should get your mind and body in sync with each other by trying to exercise. A daily exercise of 30 minutes can really uplift you and rather motivate you to perform better. Sixth is forgiveness. There is nothing more human than being forgiving to people, and hence you should practice forgiveness. What are certain benefits of self-esteem? Well, if you are somebody who is looking for benefits, here they are. You are yourself. You accept disagreements. You're not living in your fancy la-la land saying, everything is perfect, everything is in agreement. You accept failure, you accept disagreements. You challenge yourself constantly, and that's a beautiful benefit of being, of having a high self-esteem. You constantly challenge yourself to get out of your comfort zone, get into the challenging zone and do a lot for yourself. You do not fear uncertainty, rather you take it bull on or head on. You dive into the unknown, the uncertainty, and that's what is really a benefit of self-esteem. Let's take some more benefits of self-esteem. You are somebody who's seen as a resilient, patient, calm, composed. You don't need approval for things, you yourself approve of things. It makes you more happier and more committed. If you are somebody who is having, who wants to get onto the path of having a positive self-esteem, trust me, it will make you a happier individual. You don't look for happiness outside in the world, you look for happiness within yourself, and that's what is making you a more self-esteemed or self-confident person. Well, there's a beautiful quotation which says that you change your life and you will see your self-esteem improved drastically. So hence start changing your ways and you will see that you're becoming more and more self-esteemed. Well, I'd like to conclude by saying that you play a huge part in your happiness and you can greatly increase it by taking the action and changing your attitude towards yourself. You are responsible for nobody but yourself. If you want different choices in life, you have to have the attitude of gratitude. I do hope, friends, you have enjoyed listening to this particular module on self-esteem, and I hope you have got really pepped up to become a more confident version of yourself. Do not engage in self-empathy and self-pity. Rather, get out of your comfort zone and be as much improved version of yourself as you can be. Thank you for watching this video, and thank you for watching us and commenting and giving your suggestions to us. Thank you once again.